Ready?
Nope. 1 second. I think you're good.
Okay.
Okay.
I open the regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Chickasha Public School District 26I001. The meeting was properly posted in compliance with the Oklahoma Open Act, Oklahoma State 301-14 at 6:01. No, 6 o'clock. I need a motion. I need a roll call.
Cliff. Morris.
Yes, here, present.
Curtis.
Here.
Allen.
Here. Now I need a motion to high school. Second. Motion and second. Any discussion? No. Roll call, please.
Cliff. Morris.
Yes.
Curtis. Allen.
Yes. Meeting adjourns.
All right, Eric, you want me to let you know when we get 5 minutes away?
No, I'll be able to see you all.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go to the auditorium.
You gotta go back out for some.
She still was mortified and scarred this year during tryouts that her first tryout, her sophomore year, you were there during the type of she was doing. Also, he knows nothing about this. No, he didn't. Yeah. Yeah, we're all just sitting here talking.
Never there. What's up, Howard? How are you, sir? Have you ever heard me sing? I'm so bad. Let me hear.
Because listen, if I eat What? Okay, maybe that's good. I'll be like, lipstick in here. Yeah. Well, my middle school cookies couldn't cut, so I'm talking about those. And I'm just gonna be like, Carly, you can do that. Wait, you're I'll go up on stage. I'll go up on stage. Yeah.
You know, and like, first, next time, there's a picture. Everybody do. Someday. You know. Yeah, if you want to do that, you want to do that, you want to do that. It's horizontal. Cool.
Yeah. I would say that personally before I. Yeah, oh yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's something like
You called her out. You didn't want to win. Nobody ever asked me. Oh yeah, because you were doing it faster, right? That's weird.
oh. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can do it. Oh, I need to do this. What if it was only one? You need to find a horizontal. Find a horizontal one, and then just find one, and then just one. So, just let me know when.
Sometimes everything is everything. No, we go right here. So he like keeps us together. One in the same. We all cheer both right.
I hereby reconvene the regular meeting of the Board of Education of Chickasha Public School District 26I001. The meeting was properly posted in compliance with the Oklahoma Open Meetings Act, 25 OS sections 301 to 314, and it is 6:15. Could we have roll call, please?
Allen. Here. Cliff. Here. Jarvis. Here. Neal. Morris.
Here. Pledge of Allegiance, and we're welcoming Lincoln Elementary to lead us in that.
Our representative is Ms. Bree Joseph, Lincoln School.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now I pledge allegiance to the flag of the state of Oklahoma, its symbols of peace unite all.
Thank you very much. We move on to item number 4, recognitions, Chickasha Express Employees of the Month for May. I think Mr. Turner's going to do that.
Stephanie here. Mark, I know you're here. Come on up. Go ahead and talk about this young man as he's getting up here on stage. Mark Crowder is our maintenance Chicken Express employee of the month. Mark is our maintenance supervisor. He's been with Chickasha Public Schools for 13 years. And if you need to know anything about any of these buildings, where anything's at, Mark can tell you everything you need to know. Mark is married to his wife, Sandy. They have 3 children, and he has 5 grandkids. And I can tell you he loves to hunt because he tells me about all these big bucks and all the deer that he sees every time he goes out. I think he just does it to rub it in on me because I don't see very much. But he's got all the good hunting land and hasn't invited me yet. But our Chicken Express employee of the month for maintenance is Mark Crowder. Stephanie Riley is our transportation Chicken Express employee of the month. Stephanie has been with Chickasha Public Schools for 16 years. She drives pre-K kindergarten route for us every day, and she's also on our grounds crew and does a heck of a job. She's married to her husband, Monty, and they have 2 sons, Heston and Levi, and she has 3 boys, and they do have a baby girl on the way who will make her entrance into this world this summer. And her hobby, believe this or not, it's horses, and she has 16 of them. And I asked her, I said, how do you ride every single one of them? She said, we don't, we just pedal. And so, but Stephanie Riley, she is our representative for transportation for the Chicken Express employee of the month.
All right. Come on up, folks. This is a very special award, and I am so pleased and proud this well-deserving group received this award. We were notified of this 2 months ago. Okay. I happened to be over at Bill Wallace one day, and I was in the parking lot, and I was leaving, and I ran into who's now been elected the president of OA, Catherine Bishop. And her and I, we go way back for years. And after we got past the pleasantries of seeing one another, she said, I asked her, so what brings you to Chickasha today? And she said, well, she goes, we're here. They're going to do pictures that day. with this outstanding group because they have won, and this is one of the first times I think sport negotiators have won this before. Okay, 1 to 2. And so what it is, it's the Outstanding Collective Bargaining Award that has been awarded to the Chickasha Association of Support Employees, or CASE Group. And normally this goes to the certified negotiating team, but we have an outstanding group right here in front of you today. And I'm gonna let them introduce themselves and just talk for just a second about what they do in our district. But I am so pleased to get to work with them. They've been wonderful in negotiations. Sometimes it's we do a little bit of arm wrestling in there. And it's been a great group. We have great dialogue. I'm so very excited for them because for OEA just to stop and say, you know, we have all these groups, but our group just stands above the rest. It's a great job. I'm proud of all of you. And so we want to let you just start. You can introduce the group, let them, but just tell who you are, what you do, and how long you've been here, and don't bash me, please. I'm working.
Yvonne Kennedy. I've been here for 23 years. I'm a bus driver and also carry the school mail. And I will let everybody else introduce themselves. I'm also the president of CASE. I'm Valerie Keys. I was in the kitchen about 4 years and then transferred over to Bill Wallace. Been working with the little ones and been there a year and a half.
Wilma Dudley, and I'm secretary at Bill Wallace, and I'm the vice president of CASE, and I've been here a little over 20 years.
I'm Tony Mosley. I've been with school district 10 years. Currently work at Lincoln on staff. Enjoyed negotiation this last year, and I'm looking forward to it again this year.
So let's give them a round of applause. It looks pretty mild. Yeah. All right, thank you guys. Very proud. Up next is our academic all-state, Ms. Snow.
Aubrey Wright has been honored as 2021 Academic All-Stater, one of only 100 students statewide. Valedictorian of her class, Aubrey is also a member of the National Honor Society and Oklahoma Honor Society. Aubrey is the service officer of the Junior Optimist International Club and a member of Key Club. She is the CHS band. She is in the CHS band as a section leader and drumline member. She was named to the 2021 All-Region Honor Band as well as receiving superior and excellent ratings in the 2021 Solo and Ensemble contest. She has been a dancer for 15 years and has been an assistant instructor at Love to Dance Studio for 5 years. Aubrey has been a volunteer at several organizations since middle school and has earned hundreds of service hours. Aubrey?
I'm extraordinarily grateful for this award. It's really amazing. My future plan, she asked me to talk about, I plan to go into history and eventually get a doctorate to become a professor and continue the education streak that was started by my mom, who's actually a teacher at Bill Wallace in this district and my favorite person in the whole world. Thank you, Ms. Snow.
Yeah, hey, Aubrey, real fast, where are you going to school at? All right, there you go. Good stuff.
Raise this up. Big shoes to fill. Next up, we're going to honor so many of our great activities and accomplishments from our kids throughout this year. We have some amazing student athletes and participants in band and choir and robotics and you name it, ACT. Our kids work extremely hard Very proud of them, very proud to be here. I'm also very proud of our coaches and sponsors. Very few times do people stop me at Walmart and tell me how awesome our coaches are. But I'm here to tell you, we got some great coaches and sponsors, work extremely hard, put in a lot of time after hours. I think most of our coaches and sponsors make about 25 cents an hour for the extra time that they put in, the late nights, the trips, the phone calls, the love that they give our kids. So very, very proud of our coaching staff and our sponsors. Love all those people very much. And the first acknowledgement that we want to start with tonight is archery. So if Mr. Jensen, if you would come on up. Yeah, come on up. Be a pretty here to sit down.
As they're making their way up, guys, this is just a small amount of our kiddos that are representing us tonight. We have 3 teams, an elementary team, a middle school, and a high school team that represent us. And first thing I want to talk about is something that other people I know have gone through and I'm going to touch on, but just this year's challenges between COVID, shooting with masks. It's pretty weird to shoot with a mask on, and we did it pretty much all year. Have an anchor point, have things going on there, and it's just weird. So we learned how to do that and just kept on trucking. Many tournaments canceled or postponed, rescheduled, just different things like that. Virtual qualifiers, virtual state and national tournaments were really different and weird for us this year. So just want to say I'm very proud of the resiliency of all these guys and their hard work and just persevering throughout the season. Okay. So what I wanted to do is go through just a few of our tournaments and just kind of highlight some of our top scorers in those all the way through to nationals. And then I have one more thing I want to do after that. And, we went to the McLeod Bulldog Classic. We had middle school boys Nolan Murko second place with a score of 283. Highest score, for those you don't know, is 300. High school girls Trinity Badillo had a top 15 finish. And then we went on to the El Reno Archery Tournament. High school girls, Trinity Badillo was a top 5 finish. Marion Shelton was top 10 finish. High school boys, Joseph Shaw, top 10 finish. Bobby Shelton also top 10 finish. And Bobby Shaw and Thomas Shaw were top 15 finishes. What did I say? Oh, Bobby Shelton and Thomas Shaw. Bobby Shelton and Thomas Shaw, both top 15 finishes. Then we went on to state. We did not get to go to very many tournaments because a lot of them were canceled. So we usually would have done more than that. But we went on to state, and again, it was virtual. The Oklahoma Tier 2 state tournament. We had elementary girls. Zoe Reyes was first place with a score of 263. Brindley Alexander was a top 20 finish. Then moving on to elementary boys, Hayden Rosh. Third place with a score of 262. Jackson Bowman, 6th place. Our elementary team rank at state was 6 out of 31. Moving on to middle school girls, Whitley Ray had a 5th place finish with a score of 274. Carlina Moore had a top 30 finish. Middle school boys, Nolan Murko had a 1st place finish with a score of 288. Our middle school team rank was 19 out of 57. And then moving on to the high school girls, Trinity Badillo had a crazy thing happen that we, this probably would have never happened this way if it wasn't virtual, but she tied for 1st place and it came down, they go to who shot the most 10s and the 9s and so on. She ended up getting 2nd place, but they posted it, both of them in 1st place. And had her, they did it in alphabetical order also, so the Badillo came before the other girl. So we thought she had 1st place wrapped up, and ended up, they made a phone call to me, and I had to break that news to Trinity. And none of us were very happy that day. And I had a long talk on the phone with one of the guys at the wildlife department, but she ended up getting second. So kind of a heartbreaker, but a great job. And her score there was 284. Daniela Hernandez had an 11th place finish. Marion Shelton had a 9th place finish. And then our high school boys, Joseph Shaw had a 14th place finish with a score of 282. Trenton Rippey had a top 35 finish. Bobby Shelton had a top 40 finish. Our high school rank, we won 3rd at state. We were 3rd out of 43 teams. Then we went on to nationals. We just, Jason and I did kind of a selection process there and had some people shoot virtually for us that earned that right. Elementary Zoe Reyes was 143 out of 1,549 virtual shooters this year. Jackson Bowman was 202 out of 1905. And that's just to highlight, we had a lot of guys in there, okay? Top 500s, a lot of them. Noah Mirko in middle school boys was 126 out of 3,611 with a score of 282. High school Joseph Shaw was 74 out of 2,860 with a score of 291. And with a top 100 finish, he qualified for the Worlds, which is in South Carolina. South Carolina. So we have to look into that. Before I do my one last thing that I want to do, I want to recognize our NASP, our National Archery in the Schools program, academic archers. I had 4 of them this year: Trenton Rippey, Thomas Shaw, Nolan Mirko, and Joseph Shaw. And 3 of them did a great job. The last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to, especially with the, again, like the year that we've had, with a lot of things taken away from the kiddos, I want to just make sure I give extra recognition to all of my kiddos, but especially my lone senior, the one that stayed with me all year. We had another one that kind of in and out, but not only did he stick with it this year, he's been shooting for 9 years. Joseph kind of stepped up a little bit. I'm going to talk about that. So Joseph, I'm going to read a little bit here because I don't want to leave anything out. So Joseph was my only senior. He's been shooting for 9 years. He's won multiple state championships. We decided a while ago. It's 7-4. He's been a part of 4 of them team and 3 individual state championships. So one of the hearts and soul of this program since he was little. He's never been real short. I don't think anyway. Let's see. He's always, I just wanted to say that anytime he's one of a couple that I have, and anytime he steps onto the line, he could just win the whole darn thing, you know. So I also want to talk about him just being an exemplary student. He's recognized as one of our NASP academic archers throughout middle school and high school, I would imagine, probably. And he has a full PLC scholarship to Southern Utah University. He's a member of the National Honor Society. He's ranked #1, I believe, in the senior class right now. I could probably go on, but I'll stop right there, okay? In addition to Joe being a great archer and a great student, he's just a great kid. I just wanted to point that out, that he's picked up a couple of things that he does just for me. He's picked up along the way some bow repair, bow maintenance skills, doesn't mind helping me out there and does it on a regular basis. Learn from people like this guy right here in the front row. And Tony, we appreciate everything you've done for this program and helped us out. So thank you. But anytime he's willing to help me in the bow shop, wherever, put knocks on, servings, restringing bows, all that good stuff. Anything that needs to be done. Also, Joe is always willing to share his time and his knowledge with kids, little guys coming up. He's been willing to do that, and he's been a great mentor for all those guys that are coming up behind him. I just wanted to bring you up here and just kind of let you know some of his accomplishments and just tell him in front of you guys, thank you for everything you've done for the program, and I wish you the best. Where we go from here. Okay. Thank you for your time, guys.
Coach Brewer couldn't be here tonight, talk about baseball, but our baseball team won 24 games this year. Most wins since 2016. They hosted 5 districts. Won those, advanced to regionals, where they put up a heck of a fight. So our baseball team, you guys that are here, great job, great season. You made us very proud. Thank you. Coach Hankins here. Oh, sorry. If you're a baseball player, stand up, please, and recognize you. I know Joe Victory's here.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to the school board and to superintendent for hiring me here at Chickasha. I've greatly enjoyed my time here, and like I said, I couldn't be any luckier. Thank you very much. Tell you a little bit about our basketball team. We are trying to build a foundation with our team and grow it into a successful program. This year, we were fortunate enough to win consolation at the Duncan tournament. Under my understanding, that's the first trophy we brought home for a tournament in the last 3 years of basketball. As well as we had a second team all conference in Xavier Copeland McFadden, an honorable mention in Malik Murphy. We are gaining and growing in our program. We feel this being my first year there with my assistants, EJ Golightly and Coach Richardson, Shane Richardson, in building that foundation. One of my favorite quotes is by Paul Harvey, and he states that progression is often the tortoise and not the hare. The problem comes is people are in too big of a hurry to take notice until it passes them by. And I think that would be our program. We are continually building and growing. And to let you know a little bit about us, I think this is a great tale of my kids and how great they are. We opened this season, we played and at Arco, and they ended up beating us 40-something points. The kids stayed true to what we were telling them and buying into what we were telling them. The second time we played them, they beat us 20. And then the third time, it took an overtime. We are gaining and growing with our program, and we're understanding what the foundations are to build that. And we're setting those in place, especially this summer. We're having a pride program, we're having a little kid camp, as well as having individuals. We're trying to bring here a program that Chickasha can be proud of. And when I came here, I truly believe this is a town that is wanting a successful program to get behind, and that's what we're trying to build here for you. Again, thank you for allowing me to be here. Like I said, you guys kids are absolutely phenomenal kids. And I couldn't ask as a coach to have better young men to teach and coach and putting forth the work. And I promise you, the progression will come, and we are going to build you a program here at Chickasha you can be proud of. Thank you.
If you've never seen Coach Hankins coach, it's fun to watch. He gets a little animated. Glad I don't act like that, Coach Hankins. Okay, our girls basketball team, just a fun group to watch, young, exciting. We had 4 of them make conference honorable mention: Leanne Eaton, Riley Weber, Lexi Albright, and Chloe Stillman. So, girls basketball. Followed by Miss Elliott. Sorry, if you're girl basketball players, stand up, we'll recognize you.
Ms. Weber's gonna talk to y'all for a second. Just kidding, she got like a fear, so I constantly think I'm gonna make her do it. She won't do it. All right, so cheer season this year felt like it was probably the longest cheer season we've had in forever, only because COVID, that's it. It took 5 different tries to get state competition scheduled, finally scheduled it, and finally had state competition June 30 or January 30th. And it was originally scheduled for September 25th. So it was a long season. The girls did really well this year. We qualified in game day state and qualified for competition state. And we had an all-stater, not all-stater, Region 5 all-region cheerleader, Jasmine. She should have been an all-stater, but I wasn't thrilled with what happened there. So, but anyway, she is original all-region cheerleader for Region 5, and it's quite an honor. She did a great job. I will say the girls, when they competed January 30th, we had 10 days of quarantine. They came back on Wednesday, competed on Saturday, and hit a routine that I didn't know if we were gonna be able to do, and they did. They did a great job. So it was different this year for sure, but they did a great job with all their practice time, and it was an enjoyable year. Even though it was long, it was enjoyable. So I really appreciate all their hard work. And there you go. Thank you.
So I am Olivia Elliott, head pom coach here in Chickasha. Tonight I have 2 of my pom girls with me. They are incoming seniors, Keaton and Abby. This year was fantastic. Our high school team took 2 competitive dances to state in 2 separate categories, and we won runner-up in both of those dances, in the hip hop category and mixed dance category. We had 4 high school members recognized for 4.0 unweighted cumulative GPAs. Those were Cameron Pinkley, Kirsten Burton, Haley Thompson, and senior Hannah Kennedy. Additionally, our Chickasha Middle School pom team, who is coached by Mallory Carnes and Shannon Gibson, placed first in their state competition. And they also won 8th grade academic pom state champions. And then finally, I want to recognize Hannah Kennedy. She's a senior. She couldn't be here tonight, but she was named to the POM All-State team, which is an honor that only 30 total seniors in all of Oklahoma in POM are awarded. And so, yeah, we had a fantastic season, and we are grateful for the support of Chickasha. So thank you.
I'm going to talk about our football season real quick. We had some great young men. Just a really rough battle with COVID this year. Got quarantined for 2 weeks in the middle of the season, which is incredibly tough to rebound from. Our kids did whatever we asked them to do, and we had some of them have some postseason honors. JT Ritchie, 4A1, honorable mention linebacker. Ben Bowens, 4A1, first team all-district linebacker. Eddie Wadula, 4A District 1. First team all district defensive end, and Caden Stevenson was the secondary player of the year in our district. He also was recognized as the 4A all-star by class safety. Coach Lauren Watley couldn't be with us tonight, so I'm going to talk about her powerlifting and softball teams. So we added girls powerlifting last year. And they competed in some events with us and had their own state powerlifting meet that they went to. And Allie Boardwine is a 150-pound weight class, or excuse me, 145-pound weight. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. That doesn't mean you have to weigh that. You can just lift in that weight class. So Allie, I love you. Didn't mean anything. Not trying to say your weight. But she tied the state record for a bench press with 150 pounds, which was impressive. third place at state went to Allie Boardwine. Chloe Johnson got fifth place at state, and Aspen Phillips got sixth place. So pretty cool. Again, softball season, at the beginning of school, we were hit pretty hard with COVID and quarantines, and our pitcher for softball tore ACL a week before the season started. So there was just, and Coach Wiley had a child, so and it was all kind of stuff going on, but we survived and persevered, and the girls competed really hard, really well, and they had some postseason honors as well. All district co-defensive player of the year, Allison Arthur. All district catcher of the year, Leanne Eden, both sophomores. All district utility player of the year, Allie Bourdouin and Lexi Albright. Thank you. Mulder, boys powerlifting.
Hello, I'm Joe Mulder, and I get the privilege of coaching our off-season strength and conditioning program and doing our powerlifting. I also get the privilege of the challenge that come along coaching beside this guy right over here. You guys will understand all that details from day to day. All good stuff every single day. So, also like to thank the school board for the opportunity to coach and teach here. I'm finishing up my 9th year and looking forward to many more years to come. Chickasha Powerlifting had an outstanding year. Powerlifting is not one of those sports that's exactly something that's extremely fun and entertaining to watch. If you've ever been to a powerlifting meet, it's not something to look at and stand up and raw. Oh, wow, that was awesome and amazing. But I don't want to diminish the hard work that goes into powerlifting and preparing. We start in late November. It's literally football season ends, and hey guys, you get a day, maybe 2 days off. It's time to go to work. The workouts, we're not in there doing bicep curls. We're in there squatting deep. We have crates make you get down on the floor. We're doing intense workouts, heavy weight, day after day after day. I don't think I give these guys any days off, right? No days off is kind of our motto. We keep things pretty simple, and we ask them to show up every day, get into the process, lift hard and heavy, get yourself uncomfortable. If you do those things, then we get swole and see big gains, and those things correlate into what we do as a football program and the other sports that these athletes participate in as well. So I'm going to just cover a couple of accolades that we had this year. As a team, we only got to go to a couple meets this year, just like everybody else. COVID hit us hard. We're just thankful that we had the opportunity to get to participate in any meets. We got to host our meet. For those of you that don't know about our powerlifting meet, it's called the Dave Tapp Powerlifting Meet. A long time coach here, and we do that in his honor. And this year we had over 300 junior high lifters here, over 300 high school lifters, including several of our girl lifters. And it's just a great community event that we plan on keep building. We were fortunate enough to lift very, very well at that meet. As a team, we placed first. The gentlemen up here all placed at that meet along with the other meets I'm going to talk about. And we also were regional champs as a team in Anadarko for the first time since 99, 98, somewhere in that area. So we're regional champs. Hopefully we come to it, we beat them too. Anybody else around this area, we beat them. So you guys know that. At that meet, we had 17 qualifiers. We only took 20, 17 of them got the privilege to go to state. Again, all of these guys up here, along with obviously do the math, there are several other guys also got to go to state for us. At regionals, Ben and JT Ritchie were regional champs. Ben was the outstanding lightweight lifter at 168 pounds. He was the outstanding squat, also the outstanding bench. We'll talk a lot about Ben here in just a second. He's got a lot of accolades in powerlifting. JT was also the outstanding heavyweight bench with a total of 360 pounds in the 220 weight class. Malachi was also an outstanding heavyweight deadlift at 530 pounds, lifting at the 220 weight class. As you can see there, we cleaned up a lot of awards, and I could give you these totals of these guys, but we don't have time for all of that. As you can see, they're pretty strong, pretty big. At state this year, we also had 13 junior high kids qualify for the state competition in El Reno this year. So we're doing big things at our junior high program as well. Coach Wiley, Coach Josie, Coach Raven do a great job helping make sure their young kids and our high school kids are training well in the off season. Slade Josie was a junior high state champion this year as an 8th grader at the 123-pound weight class. Ben Bowens was a state champion for 168-pound weight class. Dale Crawford, right here on my right, was a 5th place finisher at 168 pounds. He also wanted me to mention he was 5 pounds away from placing 3rd. So he was 5 away, so really, really close on that. And as Coach already mentioned, we had a lot of success for girls as well. Alex Borderline, Aspen Phillips, and Chloe Johnson also finished in our girls powerlifting as well. So I'm going to bring Ben a little bit closer to me right here. I don't know if I even need that mic, if you guys can hear me or not, probably so. But man, I could stay for all day long and brag about Ben. But you guys look at him and you think, this guy's a state champion powerlifter. So I'm actually going a little bit further than that. Not only is he a state champion powerlifter, he's also a 2-time record holder in the state of Oklahoma powerlifter. Not like attention. He's an introvert. He does not like the attention at all. We took him to the state capitol last Thursday, and he loved all of that. I'm gonna make him stay up here with me. So I'm gonna talk about a couple things and his work ethic, and really just gonna tag in to the rest of these guys as well. So every powerlifter we have, really every athlete we have the opportunity to wake up at 6 a.m. and come lift with somebody every single morning. Weight room's always open. They know this. It's been this way for several years. Ben a couple years ago said, "I'll be there, coach." I said, "Okay." And every day it's open. And not only did he show up one day, he showed up every day. He knew what it was going to take to be a state champion. Genetically, he was gifted as well, but he put in the time, the hard work. Anytime he put weight on, I said, "Add some more." It's all right, coach, I'll do it. And we finally saw the state record in squat in reach this year in the off season, and really wanted to go for it last year. Unfortunately, COVID hit us. As we started training this year and preparing for the state meet, we knew it was within reach. We had several opportunities at regular meets to test it out. So we go to state, we get to our second lift, we put the state record on there, and the whole meet stops, and hundreds of people there watching it. And that made me a little bit nervous because, again, he don't like the spotlight. Luckily, his mom was there and everybody was there supporting him. And we got the record, and I looked at him and said, "Are you done?" He said, "Nope, let's go ahead and put 45 pounds more on. Let's set it again." So we did that, and his third attempt, we went in and set that record, and we knew from there that the state championship was pretty much over at that point. So I can't speak highly enough of this young man, what he's put in to our weightlifting program, what he's put into our school, what he's put into our football program. He has set a great example for these underclassmen to follow. Crawfish is in the same boat. By the way, both these guys are seniors. There is no reward for lifting heavy weight your senior year. They're not playing football anymore. They're not doing anything else anymore. They chose to lift weights, show up every day, work hard, and I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud about the future of Chickasha athletics and the direction that our powerlifting program is setting. Appreciate you guys.
There you go, Coach Mulder. You guys don't know Coach Mulder. He's a blessing to me and our athletic program. Extremely hard worker, and you can tell why the kids love him. Next up, we have boys soccer. Unfortunately, Coach Mantu checks his email about twice a year, so I'm not sure. I got some exciting news today. Coach Mantu is going to co-coach the all-state soccer game this summer. So very excited for Coach Mantooth, very well deserved, extremely great coach, very fortunate to have him. The boys soccer program just missed out on the playoffs this year. Had a really tough schedule, battled through some injuries and stuff, but they made us very proud. They fought hard all the way through, and they did have one all-stater, and very proud of that. But they're going to wait till the soccer banquet on Thursday to announce it, so I won't spoil it. Next up, Coach Cole. Are there any boys soccer players here? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Stand up. Boys soccer players. There we go. All right, Coach Cole, I'll get it ready for you.
All right. Those that don't know, I'm Coach Gobo. I'm the head girls soccer coach here. A little bit about the boys team as well. This is our first year that they haven't made state playoffs, and
we're one program. Those who don't know us, we have our boys team, girls team, JV, middle school. We're just one big soccer family program. So we're very proud of our boys as well. I have 30 girls on my roster this year, but these are the best two ever. Best two. Something about these two, me personally, I have 8 seniors and 4 of them are 4-year members, which these two are my 4-year members. So it's pretty awesome that they stick with us for 4 years. Guess we're not that bad. Little things based on last year. We all know COVID hit. My girls started, we're pretty young. We've been building these last few years. We actually haven't been in the playoffs for the last few years, which is really tough. I started here in 07, so this is my 14th, going on my 15th year. And I made state playoffs every year with my girls. And in the last 3 years, we just couldn't get it going. And then last year we got a winning streak. My JV girls came out and won a tournament. My varsity girls came out. We won our first couple regular season games, and then boom, shutdown happened. Season's over, which is also unfortunate for our boys team because I'm gonna say it right now, our boys team, if they didn't win state last year, they would have been runners up. That's what's hard. Our boys team this year, we lost pretty much. We played 11 on the field. How many boys seniors last year? I think we had like 15 senior boys last year, and most of them are 4-year members. So it's like your season's gone like that. So our kids knew this year, make every day count. Like we never know what's going to happen. That being said, my girls came through this year, and with us being the last season, sports season, half my team plays every other sport. They're involved in every other thing. So we don't really get our full team until preseason. I mean, we've already played preseason games, and I'm still trying to figure out who I put where. So kudos to the kids for actually learning how to play as a team within like 2 weeks before we start actually district play. So that's pretty hard for us being a spring sport. I know my fellow spring coaches probably understand that. So going into this year, we host many tournaments here. We actually just got a middle school tournament as well. We have like 24 teams coming each of our tournaments. It's pretty awesome for our community. My girls won second in our tournament this year. And then in our district, which is probably one of the toughest districts in our 4A West, because 2 of the last 4 teams remaining are in our district. So that just tells you the top 2 in our district are literally probably gonna be fighting for the state championship. And those are the ones we face. But we went 3rd in our district. And when I say 3rd in our district, we lost to our top 2 teams by 1 goal. And one of them was a double overtime, 7 penalty kickers. So the fact, rewind a couple years ago, this was against Clinton, they 10-0'd us a couple years ago, which hurt my heart. But 2 years later, we came out and almost stunned them with a penalty kick win. But unfortunately, it just wasn't in our cards to beat them this year. Well, anyways, my girls ended up making it to the state playoffs. And those who don't know, we went to Herod last week. It was unfortunate. They then went double overtime again. So soccer, we play 40-minute halves, so they play 80 minutes. And double overtime with 2 more 10-minute periods. So these kids have already played 100 minutes, right, of nonstop running. And then we go to penalty kicks again, because it's a tie 1-1 game. You get 5 penalty kicks. Well, 5 for 5, we're tied up again. Goes the 6th kicker. I had a little freshman on the line. She misses it. Their girl makes it. Our season's over. So it was a tough loss. We're excited though, because they actually went to play Woodward, who's in our district, and they got beat. So we like our district actually being in the top, because it just shows you where we stand and what we are doing to get better. But anyways, it was tough. And I told the girls, I mean, seeing their tears, seeing all that, it was exciting to know they broke the 4-year drought of us not winning playoffs and actually getting that winning mentality. For many years, I don't think a lot of them knew like what it felt like to win and what it felt like to actually not be underdogs. And it was pretty exciting. Like I said, the last 2 teams left in semifinals, they play tomorrow night, are the top 2 teams from our district, which is Woodward and Clinton. And I'm pretty excited to know, I hate losing my seniors, but I'm pretty excited now I have a pretty young team and I have a lot of young talent coming up. And every year we just get better. So, Chick soccer. Yay.
Thank you, Coach Coble, for all you do. Next up, swim, Miss Kennedy. Hold up, Miss Beach, you should be to the left.
Coach Goble won't say this, but she does everything with soccer. She does the fields, she checks on the kids at school, she does everything. She's an amazing coach, teacher, and person. Thank you, Coach Goble. Okay, so my name is Yvonne Kennedy, and I am the head swim coach. And when I became the head swim coach, I had 4 swimmers, and my son was one of them. And this year I had 16 swimmers, and my coach is the assistant head coach. So we have grown every year, and basically these guys are the ones that go out and recruit. It's the swim team every year. We're just like a big family. We just come and swim, goof off, have fun, and try to beat our time. And they do a great job. This year, we actually had some state qualifiers, so it was really exciting. Katie Castrellin. Okay, he came to us this year, and he had swam before. He's very, very quiet. I think the whole year he spoke to us maybe once. You want to say anything? All right. So he's super shy. He actually qualified for the 200 free and the boys 200 free relay. And so he did a great job this year. Also, the boys 200 free relay was not only Caden, but Caden Wallace, Liam Crow, Brock Barr, and Dalhong Lim. And that's Dalhong Lim and Brock Barr. And then Jennifer Beach, she's our only senior that we have this year. And she qualified in all 4 of her events. And so she qualified for her individual 200 IM, individual 100 free, and the girls 200 free relay and a 200 IM relay. And Avery Jones, she qualified in all 4 of her events, the 500 free, and that's a long swim, the 500 free, a 100 breaststroke, the 200 free relay, and the 200 IM relay. Other girls that qualified for the 200 free relay and the 200 IM were Jennifer Beach, Avery Jones, and then Brianna Kaysen, Abigail Hood, and Alex Sherman. So they did a great job.
Thank you, guys. The Wideners, Angela and Zach Widener coach tennis for us. And they had the boys regional today, so they couldn't be here. And we found out that we had a doubles get 5th place, so they're an alternate for state tournament, so we don't know if they'll get in or not yet. But we did have 2 young ladies, JC Ketchum and Olivia Dabney, qualified for state tennis. And they played their state match on Friday and did an excellent job and just came up a little short from placement. So good job to those ladies. Next up, Coach Nancy Moore.
I'm Nancy Waters. I do volleyball and track. I'll talk about the girls and the boys track first. We had One girl qualified for state in the shot put, and that was Jessica Turner. And she was seeded 11th going into the state track meet, but she threw her best throw of the season, and she finished 8th in the state in class 4A. So out of 140 girls, she was 8th in the state. Liam Crow qualified in the 110 hurdles. He's a freshman. When I got him, he couldn't even get through 3 hurdles at a time, and there's 10 on the track. So we had a lot of work to do, but Liam qualified for state. He went to state and he didn't make finals, but he finished 12th in the state. Noah Flores, a junior, qualified in the 100 meters and had a good race. Again, his best time of the season. And he finished 12th, even though he didn't make finals, he finished 12th in the state. Our 400 relay of Kennard Gonzalez, and this is Kennard right here, Ben Bowens, Noah Flores, and Xavier Copeland McFadden. They qualified for state, but because of prom, they chose prom. Hurt my heart, and so they didn't get to run, but they did qualify for state, which is quite an accomplishment. So they were the top 16 teams in the state in 4A. So there's our state qualifiers for track. For volleyball, we had a really good season. We don't have any all conference. We weren't in a conference last year. We will be in this year. COVID hit us really hard. We had kids in and out all year long, but the one that really hurt was 1 hour before we left for the regional tournament. They quarantined my outside hitter. For those of you that don't know what an outside hitter is, that would be like taking your quarterback and saying, okay, you don't have your quarterback, you don't have your second quarterback, so put your running back in there and hope that you can get something done. So we struggled at regionals. If we'd have had our full complement of players, we probably would have beat Holland Hall, but as it was, they beat us, so that took us out of regionals. But I have everybody back. I had 1 senior. They'll all be juniors next year. So looking forward to great things with our volleyball next year. Thank you.
Coach Randall? Come on, wrestlers. Coach Waters?
Yes, sir.
That's almost as bad as the time we arrived at Cash to play a football game, and Mr. Crosby called me and said, hey, you got to send somebody that's already there home. So that was all his fault. So.
Okay, I'm Coach Randall, run the wrestling program and doing it about 20, this is my 27th year, I believe. So, but one thing I want to say, if you haven't been around wrestling, most people don't realize that like Oklahoma State University's in the record books for they've won 34 team national championships, which is the record book for any sports team in college. So with that being said, Oklahoma is a hotbed for wrestling. Most people, if you haven't been around, don't realize that Oklahoma is a huge wrestling state. All the states wrestle, but there's only like 6 or 7 states that are huge wrestling states. And like if a state champion from another state comes here and wrestles in Oklahoma, they're going to have a tough time even qualifying in any class because that's just the type of wrestling we have in Oklahoma. So it makes it pretty tough. And we had 4 qualifiers this year, and just like everybody else, we battled the COVID thing and had to miss a couple tournaments here. We got to run our tournaments, which were 2 of the best tournaments, and thanks to Crosland and Coach Bray that were let us have our tournament and ran really well. And a lot of the teams that came were very appreciative because probably about half of the tournaments were shut down, weren't able to have them. So these boys have battled some injuries this year. Eddie Wadu is our senior, and he's not here. He qualified. He injured throughout the year off and on, and he ended up qualifying in his senior year. These 3
Rooster McElroy, Aubrey Rhines, and Bryce Doherty were all sophomores, so their first year really of high school competition. We're on the bubble going to regionals, and we talked about it, and they all had a really good regional and qualified for the state tournament in their first year in wrestling at high school state. So we've got a couple more years with them to get on the podium, and they've also got some good freshmen and a real good 8th grade class coming up in the next few years, team-wise, to do some things for our team. And then we've got my son's group, 5th grade group. So we've got about 7 years of run, and these guys are going to lead the way, and hopefully the next 2 years doing some summer work when we get started as soon as school's out. We can work on getting on that podium, but I'm very proud of those guys. They fought through some adversity with that snowstorm and freeze that came through, which kind of hurt us a little bit, getting down the weight and keeping our shape and stuff. But in the end, they were state qualifiers, so I'm really proud of them.
Thank you, Coach Randall. Mr. Barker? Mr. Barker makes his way up. There's one sport I want to recognize. Like I said, Mr. and Miss Wider couldn't be here tonight. But if there's any cross-country members in attendance, stand up. All right. We had a lot of success in cross-country this year. I know Brock won a medal at every event he went to, and those guys compete really hard, and it just so happens to be that cross-country takes place in July, in August, and September, and it's nice and cool out when they're out there running their 3 miles. So good job, guys.
My name is Kent Barker. I'm the band director here at Chickasha, along with my associate director, Mrs. Amy Lee. She couldn't be here tonight. But I'd like to start out with our individual achievements. We have, for band, we have All Region Honor Band, which is Southwest District, which is 52 different schools. It starts from 7th grade through 12th. We had 26 students make All Region Honor Band this year. And these are blind auditions. There was approximately 4,200 kids this year that auditioned 7th through 12. And they don't see you, they don't know who you are, all you are is a number. They all play the same music. 7th graders play the same music, junior high, and the high school students play the same music. And our kids do well every year. We had one of our kids this year was a 6-year All Region Band member, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. And also we had this year something that hasn't happened in 10 years. We had an all-stater. There was 4,500 students who started out trying for All-State this year, band students. 10 through 12 in Oklahoma. This is everyone against everyone. It's 2A through 6A. There is no class All-State for Oklahoma. It's just you're all against each other. And Rosanna Medina was 8th chair clarinet out of over 800 clarinets who started trying out this year. We had several students try to make superior ratings at district, solo ensemble, and state solo ensemble. And also our band overall this year, we weren't able to go to marching contest because of course the dreaded COVID. And if we would have gone, I don't know how we would have made it. We had 35 kids gone that week, so I was glad we didn't. But for district contest this year, we were able to continue our streak. Our kids did a great job, received a superior rating at district band contest and contest in concert and sight reading. We compete in 2 different things. Went to state again, received an excellent or 2 rating at state in concert and sight reading. And this is my 20th year here, and out of the 17 of the last 20 years, we've received superior ratings at district contests. So hopefully we'll keep that going next year. Our kids did a great job, and I know I see one of them still here. Poor Claire, she's back there still waiting. Poor Ag, they're waiting still. And we've had a lot of kids, and the best thing about Chickasha is we share students. There's kids in we have kids in every group except one in our school. So it's really wonderful to know that that can happen in the school now. So thank you.
you, Mr. Barker. Next up, Mr. Schmidt. These guys just had their FFA banquet on Friday, so they didn't even have to take their nice jackets to get dry cleaned or anything. They just hung them up and wear them again on Monday.
Hello, I'm Colby Schmidt. I'm one of the ag teachers here at Chickasha. I like to consider myself the associate ag teacher, and my wife as the department head. But anyways, Chickasha FFA had a very good year all around. Going back to last spring and COVID, I think there's a few awards that we need to acknowledge there because we actually accepted them out of the back of a pickup truck because there was no convention. So that was a little anticlimactic to say the least, but Chickasha FFA is a national 3-star chapter. We're in the top 4% in the nation. We won excellence winner last spring, which wouldn't have got acknowledged in building communities, the work we do within the community. As far as this year goes, I'm going to start off with career development events, which career development events would be their contest set up for students to participate in, and they're using they're taking tests and doing practicums and developing skills that they could go on and use later on in the workforce. And so to begin, the first team we had is our AgCom team. They were the third high team in the Branson National that was virtual contest. Fourth high team at the NEO contest. Fifth high, we had the fifth high individual there, and Logan McKinney, and they were 8th overall team at the Oklahoma State FFA Interscholastics contest. Our milk quality and products team, or dairy judging, the kids literally sample milks, they sample cheeses, they do a practical, and as well as a written test. They were the 4th high team at Seminole State. They were the 3rd high, we had the 3rd high individual there, Zach Kopak. They're the 3rd high team at NEO, 4th high, they were the 4th high team at the Oklahoma FFA State Interscholastic Qualifying Contest because Stillwater and OSU's campus still had some regulations depending on what department you're in. We couldn't bring 300 kids into OSU, so they had to qualify virtually first. So we were fourth high team virtually qualified for state and actually moved up a place once they went up to Stillwater, and they were the third place team in the state this year. Our meat judging team, they were the high team in the Branson National contest. They were the high team, our first place team at Murray State Interscholastics. Emma Vickery was 2nd high individual there. Claire, you were 4th high that day. They were the 5th overall team at Redlands, and they were the 8th high team overall in Oklahoma State FFA Interscholastics. They were also 3rd at Cameron this year. And Emma Vickery was a 6th high individual at the Oklahoma State Interscholastics contest. Emma actually received a scholarship from Eastern Oklahoma State, and she'll be on their means judging team next fall. Our last career development event team we had was our land judging team. This consisted of 4 sophomores, 3 girls, and a Caleb. And those kids went to, we had a workshop in the fall. They went to that workshop where they were kind of given an overview on land judging, and they came out of that, and that was a mile's worth of information, and they kind of went an inch deep. But anyways, so those kids have now participated in like 7 contests in their whole career and placed at 5. I think I'm wrong, that may be 8 and placed at 6. So we were the 2nd high team at Seminole State, the 2nd high team at Conner State College, 2nd high team at Redlands Community College. We were the 1st high team at the Altus Interscholastics contest. Claire Duncan was the first high individual and Riley Weber was the second high individual there. And we were the first high team at Cameron University Interscholastic contest. And all 4 kids were second, third, fourth, and fifth high individual that day at Cameron. We were the 5th team in the state, their national qualifying team, and Claire Duncan was the 3rd high individual in the state interscholastics contest. She was also the 5th high individual at Redlands Community College, their contest. Very good year for those kids. In their first year out, that contest is not easy. They're very smart, very bright kids. And once you go to nationals, you're done this year. Nationals is a little different, as you don't lose your eligibility there because of COVID. So, maybe one day they will be competing at nationals. Hopefully they can duplicate what they've done this year, maybe a little better. Moving on. We had 7 state degree recipients this year, 1 academic excellence student within that. Our seven state degree recipients were Emma Vickery, Claire Carver, Elizabeth Crum, Logan McKinney, Bailey White, Adrian Cyphers, and Heston Jarvis. So very we had 2 Oklahoma Youth Expo scholarship recipients this year. We had 3 national FFA, or 3 national FFA scholarship recipients last week. We just figured that out. And our Oklahoma Youth Expo scholarship recipients were Emma Vickery and Claire Carver, and our national FFA scholarship recipients were Logan McKinney, Bailey White, and Emma Vickery. So we had Claire Carver was the state winning proficiency this year in ag processing. A proficiency award is given in supervised ag experiences. The students, Claire, for example, she works at Williams in the meat department where she cuts, identifies, packages, labels meat alongside her dad. And that would be so she was first in the state in ag processing placement because she works for Williams. Very, very prestigious award. Lastly, Emma would have been a state winner in beef production placement last spring. In that proficiency area, she would have went on to nationals, and she won nationals in beef production placement, so she was a national qualifier, which is the top 4 in the nation go on to be national qualifiers, and then she goes on and wins. I said last week was very prestigious because well, it's prestigious anyways, but for a high school senior to win that is absolutely crazy, because the 3 other finalists she was going against were freshmen in college still, because you can hold FFA eligibility until you're 21. So those kids have had another year of records, but her program is so diverse, and she does such a good job with it. She won that as a senior in high school, which is awesome. But more importantly, last week going into state convention, Emma was named a state star in agricultural placement last 2 weeks ago at the state FFA convention. So essentially, Emma has the #1 placement SAE in the state of Oklahoma. That's the best way to put it, out of thousands of kids. So that's awesome. And her time won't be done with us, because 2 or 3 years down the road, the state of Oklahoma is going to want to run that at the national level once she gets more records built up, which is awesome. I think it's safe to say that all of our kids here at Chickasha are very gritty. They have a lot of character. And I heard a quote 2 weeks ago from our state FFA advisor, who he heard from. But the quote was, when times get tough, tough people prevail. And I think it's very safe to say that our students here at Chickasha are tough people. And they went through a pretty tough time this last year. And they have prevailed, and that's awesome all the way around in all programs.
Side note, a couple of our FFA young ladies, Paige at the state capitol last week, Emma Victory and Logan McKinney. So they had an awesome experience. We have great things going on at Chickasha High School. Thank you, Mr. Crosby.
We just wanted to take a moment tonight to recognize our kids. We've had virtual board meetings, we've had limited capacity, and it's the very last school board meeting of the school year with kiddos and teachers. And so we just wanted to, I know it took a little bit, but we had to get caught up in recognizing kids, and you can never stop long enough to recognize kids, and that's why we're here. So thank you for letting us do that tonight. We're very proud of it.
Okay, we will move on to item number 5, public comment. This is an open public meeting held in accordance with the open meeting laws of the state of Oklahoma. The purpose of this meeting is to conduct business of the Chickasha Public Schools as elected representatives of the voters and patrons of the district. The members of the Board of Education will be making decisions concerning the operation of the district. The agenda for meetings includes, at the board's discretion, an opportunity for the public to address any item appearing on the agenda or other items of concern. Members of the public wishing to speak must sign in with the clerk of the board prior to the convening of the board meeting. The board reserves the right to limit repetitive comments, comments unrelated to the business of the board, or the total amount of time dedicated to public comment in a single evening. Board members will not respond to questions or comments during public communications. And I do believe we have one request to address the board tonight, and that would be Tony Tuthill. I'm going to need you to use the microphone, please, sir.
I'm here tonight to challenge the rehire of Jeff Brewer as our head baseball coach. I know many rumors are floating around out there about him and I having issues. I want everybody to know I didn't start this war. This war was started by Jeff Brewer on my son, middle of September of 2019.
I'm going to remind you, Mr. Tuthill, there can be no personal attacks in this meeting, okay? So let's.
Okay. I brought some documents, photos, other things. One thing, Mr. Crosland, Mr. Bray and I discussed having a meeting. I had to cancel it once. I've since reached out to potentially reschedule a meeting. He's coming up for rehire. I don't believe he is good for our kids. I know what things I've seen him do to my son. I know what I've seen him do to others. I have photos. In fact, probably the best thing to do is provide those. I know that told many rumors. One rumor was that
Let's don't discuss the rumors.
first page is a list of questions. I'd like the board members and Mr. Crosby to read, not answer tonight. I understand you can't read. But if this was your son, grandchild, or somebody close to you, would you want them subject to these things? Second page is a similar set of questions. I question the judgment of this coach from the standpoint of his treatment of certain players. We have kids that can play baseball here. They all should be granted equal opportunity to practice. They should all be granted equal opportunity to compete for a position. 2 years running, I've watched 5 to 6 kids stand in the dugout chasing foul balls for the kids that this coach wants to choose to play. Now, this is not an attack on the assistant coaches at all. They're directly 100% under the control of Brewer. I mean, I've even witnessed things that have went on, and you know, and you guys say, well, why don't people come forward quicker? Okay, I didn't want this to be a battle. I never wanted it to come this ever. You guys all know that when Coach Bray found Coach Brewer, I was one of his biggest proponents. Now, somewhere, I've been told that Brewer was told last year that I was after him. Not the case. I've worked on that baseball field at least a day a week since Brewer's been here, with the exception of the last few months. And during the off season, in the summertime when he was running the tournament, I had guys there almost every day changing pickets. The very first year he was here, I probably spent between 8 and 10 grand there, painting fences, tearing down fences, cleaning the place. Anything he called me to do, I've done. I've been told that this brick wall issue, that I got mad, and the rumor out there is that I overbilled $10,000 because my kid wasn't getting playing time. Again, this is not about playing time. This is about practice and development. It's about giving equal opportunity to every kid there. There has been kids leave there last year that never touched the baseball field, except a few times in practice. I don't care what people tell you, I'm there, I see it. I've provided photos of this. I provided.
I'm going to give you about 2 more minutes.
Okay, that's fine. In these photos, you will see kids pushing wheelbarrows around. Those kids in the background of the Chickasha team practicing, while others are pushing wheelbarrows around and dumping trash cans. I look at safety as well. You know, we all have our opinion about COVID. Okay. I question it, but at the same time, I know that I've got some very, very good friends severely damaged by it. This coach, up till 6 days after the COVID shutdown by the governor and by the state superintendent, had kids at the facility practicing. This fall, he told kids, do not get COVID tested. For the last 2 years, I've bought bottled water consistently. So I blow up on March, whatever, 10th, 11th. I ain't bought it no more. There's over 10 grand in that home run fund. Right now, we've got every one of them kids lining up at one water fountain drinking out of it. I told my son the other day, no, son, you know what? Before summer ball, we're going to start buying water again. It ain't the players' fault. I go to every ball game. I support every kid that gets in that lineup, whether it's mine or not. But this has become now a point to where now, last year, not that big of a deal. Now this year, he is doing something to my son by setting him way far behind everybody else. My son ain't good enough to practice on his hometown baseball field, but he can go to Oklahoma City and play for a Bishop McGinnis coach.
I need you to summarize now. Are you?
I
I
would just like-
appreciate the handouts. We'll look at it.
Well, if y'all have any questions, y'all know how to get a hold of me.
Okay. Thank you for your time. move on to item. Keep my computer up here. Item number 6, discussion and vote to approve or not approve agreement with LWPB. Mr. Crossland.
Thank you. Gentlemen, thank you for being very patient with us tonight, but I have with us tonight Rick Watts from CMS Willowbrook, back there in the back, and then from LWVP, Jeff Wagner, Principal Architect, and then our next item, I will introduce Dan with us here from SRB. So what I bring to you tonight, this is the contractual agreement to go into with LWPB for our bond projects that we passed from the previous, our bond issue back in February. And so they're here to answer any questions that you might have. There's no presentation for us to make, but we just want to make sure that we give you all the facts and information as you consider this contract.
Anybody have questions, comments, discussion? Okay, I think that we all know that there has been a committee looking and doing some interviewing, and we're glad and appreciate, I know Ms. Allen, you represented the board on that committee, and we appreciate the time and effort that went into this. And we're excited to have these recommendations brought to us. So if we have a motion, Clift, and a second with Gertis. Do we have any further need for discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Allen? Yes. Cliff? Yes. Gertis? Yes. Morris?
Yes. Item number 7, discussion and vote to approve or not approve agreement with the Smith Roberts.
5 minutes, you can say it.
Baldishweiler.
Because I practiced that this afternoon. I have to do that.
He forgets I was an elementary teacher, a high school teacher. I mean, names. Okay, Mr. Crawford.
So we have this one, we have a hometown Dan Underlays back there. He is also the city engineer, which I will be pelting him with questions. That I can just promise you on that part for many, many things. But we're very excited about this contract as well. Went through the whole committee interview process. And I forgot to see if Dan had anything he wanted to say about either one of these 2 items. As we go through and start working on these different projects, I really feel we have a strong team between CMS Willowbrook, LWPB, and SRB. I think we will be able to really tackle some things. So with all that, unless Dan, you have anything you want to say, or?
Be happy to answer questions.
My first question is, are you going to ask him as many questions as I ask you?
That's not possible.
Good luck, Dan. Discussion, anyone? Questions, concerns? Ms. Mylan?
I did ask a lot of questions and I was on the committee, so I feel like I probably covered everything and then some. And it was a lot of questions, but thank you for great presentations. And I'm really excited. I think we're very blessed in this community and I'm glad that we're all going to be able to work together.
Absolutely. Okay.
I move we approve this contract. Smith Roberts.
Baldishweiler.
Second, Gertis.
We have a motion by Clift and a second by Gertis. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Allen? Yes. Cliff? Yes. Gertis? Yes. Ricky? Morris?
Yes. Thank you all for coming.
Thank
We
you, guys.
appreciate it
Appreciate
a
it.
lot.
I apologize if it's a little.
And we look forward to working with you in the future.
Let's do.
Item number 8, discussion and vote to approve or not approve the 21-22 calendar revisions for new teacher orientation. And Mr. Crawford.
So we bring to you tonight a revision to the 21-22 calendar, and the only impact here is the new teacher orientation days. They would be backed up 3 days and to August 2nd and 3rd instead of August 5th and 6th. And so we're just backing them up. We have been working with the District Professional Development Committee, and they did a survey of staff members. And this particular piece of information came from recent hires who just kind of gave us an overwhelming feedback of, it'd be great if we could move that back just a few days to give them just a little bit of buffer for them to digest, process all the information before they report back with all of the staff and just start getting inundated with additional information. And we said, well, this is certainly a request that we can take to the board. It does not impact anything else on the calendar. It just moves back those 2 new teacher orientation days.
Questions, discussion? I think it makes a lot of sense, and I applaud the administration and the team for even doing the survey and then implementing results that you got from the survey. So that's good feedback, and we're glad to hear that's going on. I'm glad to hear that's going on.
Second, Alan.
We have a motion by Cliff and a second by Alan. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Alan? Yes. Cliff? Yes. Curtis? Yes. Morris?
Yes. Item number 9, discussion and vote to approve or not approve memorandum of understanding concerning vacation leave.
Okay, so this is one that our case negotiating team came up and requested consideration for. And we discussed it as a district admin team, but if you remember back a year ago, everything was shut down and we had all this vacation leave. So we did an MOU. You guys correct me if I butchered this over there, Yvonne and everybody. We did an MOU and we allowed them to carry over those vacation days. Well, folks, a lot of stuff, Oklahoma's been open and Texas has been open. Well, Texas is COVID free, yes, then. But anyway, some things have been open, but it has not truly been open in a lot of places across America for vacation days to be used. So they have requested that some of their days carry over into this next school year through the end of December to give them a chance to maybe take a trip, maybe go see some loved ones in another state that has just not been open for travelers and all that. So this would be 5 days would carry over of those vacation days, and then the other days would simply go into their sick leave bank because they just haven't had an opportunity to use them. We discussed this, debated it. We thought this was really a reasonable request by them, and so we bring to you tonight this MOU signed by myself and Yvonne to just make this adjustment to vacation leave. Those days will need to be used by December 31st, these 5 days that we're talking about. Now, they will still get their allotment as negotiated and board approved of vacation days that happen on July 1. But once again, we're just trying to listen, be fair, and just carry those days over. And hopefully they'll be able to get to go on a trip. If they want to go on a cruise, they're kind of out of luck still.
Questions, discussion? Okay. We have a motion by Alan and a second by Cliff. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Alan? Yes. Cliff? Yes. Curtis? Yes. Morris?
Yes. Item 10, discussion and vote to approve or not approve Premier US Foods as the prime vendor distributor for school meals. Mr. Turner.
Yes, a few weeks ago, we put out my first RFP, and I'm learning all about this RFP process and what all it entails. But we did get 3 bids back. And Ms. Stegman, do you have a mic where you can chime in?
I buy this microphone, so hopefully can you hear me? Okay, actually we did have 3, but we required those bids to come in by mail, and one of the bids came as an email, so that one was disqualified. So really it was only 2 bids that we evaluated. based on that. And in the RFP, it was written very well, and there was specific criteria that they had to address within their response. And based on those responses, it really wasn't even close. Premier was way above the other bid that we received on that.
A few things about Premier with the package that they bring to us. There's several resources, and one of them is the database of recipes that are available for our use. It's going to be great to get new recipes in. They offer in-service trainings. They offer trainings for our people to attend and come back. It's just like a conference where they can go and learn new culinary things and get brand new recipes, and be very excited when they come back to be able to offer to our students new recipes. The trainings that are available through Premier are outstanding. The things that we're able to purchase equipment-wise through Premier, we have that avenue that we can go down as well. So there's so much that Premier offers that it would be hard to just bypass it. And we're going to be better off in child nutrition with Premier being our company.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Questions? Dan, do you know any other districts that use them? I'm just curious.
Not off the top of my head. There are several in Kansas. Ms. Stedman, do you remember any of the ones in Oklahoma that are using Premier?
I don't, sorry.
Okay, this is great. I'm excited. Thank you.
Yeah, how long was that RFP?
Too many pages to count on your hands.
I want to say the RFP they put together.
86, about 86 pages.
We were very specific in what we were looking for, services, and it's the first time we've ever done anything quite this extensive since we've taken back over our child nutrition program. We're this offers, as Jennifer was talking about, it offers the recipe bank, the training for our staff. We're also part of another purchasing consortium, which gives us additional discounts for equipment and those type of things. We've been with Cisco as part of the state contract this year. And while they are good, they just don't have the full gamut of resources that our staff can really benefit from. And so we've noticed that as we have more kids who come back into school, our numbers of lunches and breakfasts are going up. We're finally starting to see us for the first time. It's not all in the negative, which is something it continually was with our previous company, management company. So we're very excited with this group coming in and the direction that the program's going. Our goal is for it to be a quality, self-sustaining program inside the district, and we think we can do that here.
Any further questions?
I move we approve the contract with Premier US Foods. Second.
I had a motion by Cliff and a second by Alan. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Alan? Yes. Cliff? Yes. Curtis? Yes. Forrest?
Yes. Item number 11 is the consent agenda. The following items concern items of routine nature normally approved at board meetings will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of the items. The consent agenda is before us. Ladies, anything that you need to pull out or discuss separately? Okay. We're going to be pulling out item J, student teaching affiliation between GCU and Chickasha Public Schools. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Oh, we need to let Ms. Stegman do a financial report first.
Well, we really had a record month last month in our gross production, 300,000. That's the highest it was in the last 2 months. Our federal programs were up to date on most of those. We'll be doing our April claims that round. We've actually, I think we've gotten a few started on our April claims. Our ESSER 2, we just about have that claim ready to submit and send to the department. Kudos to Pam, because it's a lot of extra work. You have to justify what reason you're using within that ESSER funds, and she's got a very color-coded, documented document to go along with it so that it gets approved faster. Overall, ad valorem's coming in a little bit above what we did last year. Our county 4 mil is above what we've been doing last year. So we are seeing some things come up, and we will have even a third additional ESSER funds to go along with it. So, and then the bond. So we're looking good right now.
Anything else you want to add, Mr. Crossland? We have a motion by Clift and a second by Gertis. Any further discussion?
Thank you. All that work.
Thank you on all that work. A lot of contracts, a lot of information there. Roll call.
Allen? Yes. Cliff? Yes. Curtis? Yes. Forrest?
Yes. We move on to, if I can scroll through all of that. Proposed executive session to discuss. Here we go. Employment, hiring, or resignation of an individual salaried public officer or employees listed on Exhibit A, Executive Session Authority, Oklahoma Statutes, Title 25, 307B1. I have a motion by Clift and a second by Gertis to convene into executive session. Any discussion? Roll call.
Allen? Yes. Cliff? Yes. Curtis? Yes. Forrest?
Yes.
Upgrading. JD, who all do we have left out here?
Hi, Rocky. Bless your heart. Rocky. Okay.
Susan. All right. Number 14.
Acknowledge to return to open session and read the order to enter into session at.
I'm sorry for that. At 7:53.
7:53 to discuss the hiring, resignations, and retirement salary public officers or employees listed on Exhibit A as authorized by 25 OS Section 307B1. Those present in executive session were Robin Morse, Kara Gertis, Christy Cliff, Lori Allen, and Superintendent Rick Blakes. No action was taken by the board.
Is Rick Crosland for the
Nice
record?
to meet you. If you put the word superintendent in front of it, Mark, take that word out of there, and I can say Rick Crosland superintendent. If I say it last, I'll get it right.
2 months in a row for the record.
2 months in a row, write it down, I acknowledge. No action was taken by the Board of Ed, and we return to open session at 8:52. Superintendent Crosland.
So for motion number 15, which is to approve or not approve the hiring of individuals as listed on Exhibit A, we need to make one correction for this particular motion, and that is for Roger Haney, the changing of his title from bus driver to mechanic / bus driver. The other corrections will be made on motion 16.
I move that we approve the transfers with the. This one's hiring, item number 15, okay. The hiring of individuals with that correction. Okay, I have a motion. Second, or is that clear as mud for you, Rochelle, or did you get it? Okay. Okay, well, actually, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's not correct.
I was about to say about Roger Haney.
Okay. Okay.
Michelle, I'll walk you through it.
Yeah. Okay, I have a motion by Cliff, with a second by Curtis. Yep. Are we ready to vote? Okay.
Alan?
Yes. Cliff? Yes.
Curtis?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes. Item number 16, motion to vote and approve or not approve the transfer reassignment workday adjustments for the individuals listed on Exhibit A. Superintendent Crosland.
So we're gonna make some adjustments here as well. Michelle Castleberry will be, needs to be listed instead of under support as certified. Susan Cerny should be listed as certified instead of support. Mary Curtis should be listed as certified instead of support. Jamie Evans listed as certified instead of support. Reagan Jansen, certified instead of support. Brandon Willis, certified instead of support. And we might need to go back and look at 15 again for Chris Albright. Stephen not be assignment. So let's go ahead and take care of 16, then we'll jump back to 15 here in just a second.
Okay.
So all those are changes from listed as a support person, they need to be changed to certified.
Discussion. Motion. So moved. Second. Cliff. A motion by Alan, a second by Cliff. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alan?
Yes. Cliff? Yes. Curtis? Yes. Morris? Yes.
All right, so let's go back to item number 15 real fast. So with that, we got the correction of Roger Haney from a bus driver to a mechanic / bus driver. But there is one additional correction to make is Chris Albrecht, teacher over at Grand Elementary, is listed as a temporary rehire. This would be a continuation of career status rehire because there is no break in employment.
I move we rehire Ms. Albrecht as a certified. to just do
It's
the
accept
hire?
all the rehire.
All the rehire.
All the rehire.
All the
We're
rehire.
amending that original.
Yes. Cliff made the motion to rehire and Gertis seconded the motion to rehire. Any discussion? Roll call. So y'all. Yes. Alan? Yes. Cliff? Yes. Rivers? Yes. Moore? Yes. 17, motion to approve or not approve the resignation of individuals listed on Exhibit A. No changes. Second, Cliff. So we have a motion by Gertis, second by Cliff to approve the resignations. Any further discussion? Roll call. Alan? Yes. Cliff? Yes. Gertis? Yes. Morris? Yes. 18, motion to approve or not approve the retirement of individuals listed on Exhibit A with no changes. So moved. Second, Curtis. Motion Cliff, second Curtis. Any further discussion? Roll call. Was the motion Alan or Cliff? Cliff? Alan? Yes. Cliff? Yes. Curtis? Yes. Morris? Yes. Item number 19, new business, Superintendent Roslin.
Nope.
Okay, that takes us to item number 20, which is Superintendent's report.
I'd like to say thank you to Bree Josie for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening. Congratulations again to all of our students, coaches, and sponsors for a great year. My wife and I had a great time at the day banquet last Friday night. We were very impressed with our student leadership and enjoyed our time speaking to students and parents. Just a reminder, graduation will be held Friday, May 21st, at the Activity Center beginning at 7 p.m. The last day of school for students is 2 weeks from today. So mark that down. Monday, May 24th. The last day for teachers is tomorrow, 2 weeks from tomorrow, Tuesday, May 25th. Summer hours will begin on Tuesday, June 1st for the district. They are 7 to 5, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday. All offices and sites are closed on Fridays during the months of June and July. And also, tomorrow is the Chickasha High School Career Fair Expo that is being put on in conjunction with the Economic Development Council led by Jim Cowan. It starts at 9 o'clock and goes through 12 o'clock. It will be out in the lobby over in the gym. So it'll be a good time tomorrow. Have a chance to stop by. Sign up.
Thank you very much. And